Hi everyone, I'm Tim Henning, and in this video series, we're going to be talking about how to clean up motion capture data in OptiTrack Motive. First, I'd like to cover some of the motivation around why we clean motion capture data, and then we'll get into a tour of the user interface. So first, why do we clean? Ideally, your motion capture data will have no glitches, gaps, or mislabeled markers. But for a variety of reasons, this might not be the case. Maybe you can't go back and recapture the data. Maybe your setup simply doesn't have enough cameras. Whatever the reason, you're left with imperfect data that needs to be cleaned to get good results. It's useful to understand the motion capture pipeline a bit when you're cleaning the data. So let's talk about that now. There are two main stages, marker tracking and marker labeling. Marker tracking starts as the 2D camera data, which the software then reconstructs into 3D marker positions. With the default reconstruction settings, a marker needs to be seen by at least 3 cameras to be tracked. At this stage, the system still doesn't know what each marker is and only has their 3D positions. Errors can happen here where the software loses track of markers when they go out of view or can't be recognized for any other reason. In the labeling stage, markers are assigned to different parts of the actor's body, and the software can now figure out the actor's pose. This mapping is set up at the beginning of your capture session when you create the actor asset. It's important that your actor has a good T-pose to get a good mapping, and that the marker placement is correct. Errors can happen here when the software can't tell which markers are which and labels them incorrectly, or if a significant number of markers are missing. Now that you understand some of the background of how the mocap pipeline works, let's get into some of the basics of the interface. As an important note, I'll be using Motive 1.9.0. If you have a more current Motive license and are using version 2.0 or later, some of your interface may look different, but many of the tools and processes are the same.